Hello, welcome back to Tactical Tuesday with Johnny Tiger. The date is November 24th, 2020. Today, I'm going to be talking quite a bit and doing relatively less, so it might seem like a bit of a more boring episode, but it is important nonetheless because I think sometimes to have good tactic, you need to understand your various options and know how to categorize your options. In other words, if you just have this big tool chest, a toolbox filled with tools and all jumbled together, you're not going to be as effective when it is time to find a specific screwdriver or specific wrench or specific hammer. You're going to be messing around trying to dig through this toolbox. Personally, I have known some people that can have the messiest drawer, messiest desk, and messiest toolbox, but they are effective. They seem to always be able to find what they're looking for. It's quite amazing. It must be a superpower. But the point stands. If I hand you this big toolbox and I say, hey, here's a toolbox with a hundred different kind of screwdrivers and a hundred different kind of knives and a hundred different kind of wrench and bolt cutters and stuff like that in it. So go and do the work. That would be like me showing you 100 techniques without giving you an idea of what goes where and when. That is why today I'm going to condense almost everything in martial art and self-defense for you into six simple attack categories, six simple types of attack. Because if you know these, if you know how these work, when they work, why we do them, then in the future, as we progress along Tactical Tuesday and Survival Saturday, and I start to give you guys more and more techniques, you guys will be able to file those away in the right places so you won't use the wrong kind of attack for and expecting a wrong kind of result. That is very, very dangerous, and we are going to talk more about that as we proceed through today. For every category of attack I'm going to show you one example technique. But just know that for every one of these, there are probably thousands, hundreds, or thousands of techniques that fall into these categories. And you are going to find martial art teachers, sensei, self-defense instructors are going to give you a different list or say this goes there rather than here. Just like some people like to have their knives and scissors together in their tool chest, in their toolboxes. But some people like to have their things separate. So no one is really right, no one is really wrong, but having a general basic idea of what goes where will help you sort things out in your head and hopefully make things a lot smoother, a lot more understandable along your training in self-defense and martial arts. So some people are saying, how can there only be six types of attack in martial arts? There are millions of techniques. In these millions of techniques, every one of them has so many variations. Well, but they all are designed to do one of these six things. Sometimes one technique can be used for multiple types of situations, depending on how intense you want to go, how much you want to use the technique, how hard you want to use it. But yeah, that's really up to you. The first type of attack is feints. Feints. I think most people already know how that works. You pretend you want to hit someone with your left hand, and then when they step to the right, you hit them with your right hand. Feint attacks are very useful. Obviously, not so much against someone who's totally blind like myself. Actually, a lot of my sparring partners have complained about that. It's pretty much impossible to feint Johnny because, well, he doesn't see it. So if you are waving your fist in front of my face, I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to think it's a feint. I'm just going to go with what I can feel, what I think, what I guess you're going to do. I'm not going to fall for a feint, a misstep, or if you fake falling down or stuff like that. Those things are not going to work on a totally blind person. But it worked really good for mostly almost every other person who can see this kind of stuff. Simple, quick example. One of the things that I do a lot, I'm letting out some trade secrets with today's video. This is going to make future fights, future sparring sessions, future tournaments very difficult for me if people watch these, but that's okay. I have a lot of things in my tool chest. Um, One of the things that I do very often, and this is a good way to use the thing, is if I'm about to hit somebody, I'm going to do this quick twirl with my lead fist, my jabbing hand, like a quick twirl, like quick little circle with my fist. This often makes people think that I'm about to hit them because I'm telegraphing. People think that, oh, he's telegraphing his punch. Or people going to think that is a feint. He's going to hit with his right instead. Well, if you think one of those two, you would be wrong because the actual move is twirl and same hand go down, punch into the stomach. I'm still hitting with my left, but I'm using the twirl, the little circular motion with my fist to allow my hands to go down into the stomach area under the person's guard. So this is like a double feint. I'm feinting with my left. If someone thinks it's a feint, they're going to think I'm going to throw a right, but I'm end up throwing a left anyway, but just much lower. Okay, there are a lot of things you can do with feint if you understand human psychology. For example, another example I'll give you: if you are if you are conflicted, you're in a conflict with someone, and you suddenly do this in front of their eyes, you don't even have to hit them. You just clap your hand right in front of their eyes. That's going to make the person react. Okay? It's a very beautiful thing. Just like throwing a sheet of paper in the face. It's not going to hurt them, but it's going to make them think you're attacking. I can go on and on. I'm probably going to do a future episode just on feint movements on its own. But I think that gives you guys a very good idea on how this works. The second type of attack, very similar to the feint, but this time you're actually attacking the person. You're not faking it. Is provocation attack. Provocation movement. What is provocation movement? I'm not saying that, you are going to pick a fight with someone and you go up and slap them in the face like the old, I'm going to challenge you to a duel, meet me outside. That's not the kind of provocation I'm talking about. Right? I'm talking about if you get caught in a bad position, someone grab you around the body in a bear hug, or someone's choking you, someone got hold of your wrist, and you can't shake them free. You can't shake them off. They are too big, too strong. This is when we need a provocation attack. Provocation because I want to provoke him into moving into a more vulnerable position. One big example is if I'm on the ground, most of you who done MMA or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu will know that if you're on the ground and the person sitting on top of you, if that person is just sitting there not doing anything, if he is just focusing on sitting on top of you, it's extremely hard to shake them off. It's really, really hard. It takes so much energy. But if let's say a big guy is sitting on top of me and he's not moving, what do I need to do? I need to get him to move. I need to get him to wiggle around, maybe shift his balance, or get him to try to hit me. He needs to do something for me to be able to get out of it, especially if it's like a 300-pound guy on top of me. So this is when my favorite signature move come in. A lot of you have heard my student talk about the tiger claw. A tiger claw is a slap into usually the inside of the thigh, or the side of the obliques, or the side of the rib cage. I will do a palm strike and curl my finger in. In another word, it's not a scratch, it's not a pinch, it's a slap and a big handful of flesh. I'm slapping and I grab a hold of big handful of flesh and I twist and pull away. Okay? What does that accomplish? A lot of people, after they experience the tiger claw, say you're fighting like a woman. But guess what? It gets a reaction out of the person every single time. I don't care if you're high, stoned, drunk, whatever. Big handful of flesh being twisted and pulled away, you are going to react, even if you are reacting with anger. Some people do that. Some people, when I do that to them, they try to smash the heck out of me. But you know what? I'm prepared for that. I know that can happen. So I'm not going to leave my face open. When I grab a big handful of the flesh and rip and tear, I'm going to protect my face. I'm going to tuck my face in. So if you try to hit me, that's okay, because now you're moving. Now you give me a chance to shift your weight off of me. Clap over the ear, that's another great provocation move to get, you always get a reaction out of the person. So is the slap to the face. Always get a reaction out of the person. Okay, you just need to remember that these moves are designed to get a reaction. That reaction may be very violent sometimes. So be prepared. As soon as they react, you need to be ready to move. The third type of attack is stunning attack. These attacks, their purpose is to create a reaction, but this reaction is to stun your opponent, stun your attacker long enough for you to do something else. A lot of people get this mixed up. This is where I'm going to talk about that. A lot of people mistaken stunning move as finishing move, as a knockout, as a termination move, as a way to end the fight. Okay, you are usually going to get hurt really bad if you think that a stunning move is going to be the end of the fight. Because when a person gets stunned like that, after 2 seconds they come out of their being stunned, they will get really angry. They'll come after you. Okay? So, a stunning move is a move strictly to get you some time, to buy you some time. A famous example of a stunning move that a lot of people mistaken it as a move to finish the fight. I cringe every time I hear people say that. It's a kick to the groin. Okay? Kick to the groin might end some fight if the person attacking you is not very experienced, not very strong, not very high on some drug, or you got a really, really good kick in. But for the most part, a kick to the groin is going to stun the person, and then that person will get pissed off. That person will get really angry. Uh, in fact, that person may become homicidal when you do that. So, when you kick the person in the groin, don't stand there and admire your handiwork. Use the 2 seconds, 3 seconds you just bought yourself to do something more serious, to get a self-defense tool out of your pocket or your purse. Hopefully it's in your pocket. Please don't carry it in your purse. Or run away. Number 4, compliant move, compliant attack, compliant move, pain inducers. These are moves that will hopefully get you to be able to control the person. So in the case that I like to use an example, let's say you're at a family party and one of your cousins just got drunk and angry and violent. Well, because he's your cousin, you probably don't want to do anything that's going to break something. But you don't want him to hurt you either. What if his drunk cousin has serious PTSD and he's grabbing a knife from the table and he's waving that knife around at the party? Like, okay, as a Krav Maga instructor, I can think of a lot of ways to try to get that knife and drive the knife into him. But he's my cousin. I don't want that. Okay? So in this case, I need a compliant attack, a way for me to control him so he won't hurt me, but he's not going to get hurt permanently. Aikido is a great martial art for that. Big shout out. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, big great martial art for that. Um, Great example of a compliant is to get a hold of the person's head, hug the head to your chest like it's a baby. You want to be behind the person at this point. And your other hand, let's say I'm hugging the head to my chest with my left hand, I will push my right hand against the nose. I'll push my right hand against the nose. Okay? Watch, you don't go too low, they're gonna bite you. Make sure it's on the nose, not the mouth, not the eyes. So one hand usually grabbing around the eye socket, around the forehead, the other hand about the nose. This way, once I secure this hold, I can move about. That person is going to go wherever I want him to go. Okay, that person is not going to fight very hard. Yes, his whole head is in my grip. His nose is hurting. His balance is off. All I need to do is yank him back hard enough to bring him down to the ground, or break his nose, okay, or put my finger in his eyes. That is a compliant move. Okay, these moves are very useful for when you need to control a situation, but you don't want to hurt the person badly, and you don't want the person to hurt you either. Number 5, the fifth type of attack is the termination attack, the disable attack, disabling attack. Okay, this is when things get really serious. This is when we are going in there with the intent to shut the person down, to disable the person. Okay. Now, it's not always as serious as it sounds. Don't get it in your head that we're going to see breaking arms and breaking necks and stuff like that. I'll show you one of my favorite disabling attacks that I use. It's 100% safe. No one, it's not going to kill anybody, but it works really, really good in a fight. When I'm fighting, especially in tournament or in sparring, one of the things I like to do is I am going to throw a feint cross. So I shuffle forward, I throw a cross, but rather than hitting the person, I'm going to miss them intentionally. So I'm diagonally facing them. They're to my side because I'm turning with my cross. My right hand come in, cross, missing them. Now they're to my side. And from this point, I'm just going to whip my hand down into the top of their leg. Okay, hammer fist into the top of the thigh. Cross hammer fist. Cross hammer fist into the top of the thigh. And What that does, if I hit that muscle on top of the thigh often enough, only take you 2 or 3 really good shots, and after every time I hit that, it gets easier and easier because the person is not moving too well. Okay? Or if they start to protect that leg, then I'm going to go after the other leg. That move is designed to slowly disable my opponent's ability to move very good on the leg, to be able to step around really good, duck really good, and it will take their kicks out of the game. So not all the termination or disable moves are deadly and scary and oh god, I don't want to break someone's bones. No, if you understand how to hit someone, where to hit them on the muscle, for example, another move I'll show you guys right here. If someone throws a punch at you, you grab their wrist to pull their arm away from their body and you give them a hard shot right into the armpit. That's not going to kill them, but it's going to disable that arm for up to a minute sometimes. Take that arm out of the fight entirely. Okay? So these disabling attacks not always permanent. You're not going to disable them permanently, but it will quickly turn the fight to your favor if you know how to throw these in. Number 6, the kill shots. Now, I'm not going to give you any example for the kill shots. I'm not going to stand here and promote it. Just know that that is an option, and sometimes, hopefully, no one ever have to go to that extreme. But there are moves that design that can kill a person. And in training, it is up to us to see if you're ready to learn those or not. And sometimes we would warn you that don't do this, don't do that. You can kill the person. One of the things that I always make sure that my students know is when you're holding the punching pad against your chest for your partner, don't hold it over your heart. Because if your partner hit it hard enough over your heart, it's going to shock your heart and it can kill you or lead to future heart condition. Uh, of course, there's also the rear naked choke. Get your arm around the person's neck and then we'll tell you you only want to hold on for 10, 15 seconds. Any longer than that, you risk killing the person. So those are situations where a move becomes a kill shot. Like I said, I'm not going to elaborate too much on it, but it's in there. And just know that if you kill someone with your martial art or self-defense, unless you have very good justification. I didn't know that was going to happen. It's mostly not going to be enough to keep you out of trouble. Thank you for checking out today's Tactical Tuesday. We'll be back again tomorrow for Wisdom Wednesday. For now, have a good night.